Here's a really cool pattern that you can use to handle all of your try catches in your JavaScript code and your React applications. So over here, I'm creating and exporting a try catch function with a bunch of type generics that we'll get to in just a moment. The important part is this. This function here receives a promise of type T. We don't care what exactly the promise does as long as it's a promise. And then we're going to wrap that promise in a try catch block and try to run it. Inside of the try catch block, we're going to await the promise and then assign it to this data variable here. And then if everything goes well, we're going to return an array with data and null as the second argument as a constant. Now, if there's an error, it is going to get caught by this catch block over here. We're not going to throw another error, but instead we're going to return an array with null as the first argument. That is going to be our data argument, which is null in case of an error. And then we're going to return the error as the second argument as well, also as a const. These are the types that I'm using. If you want to do this in JavaScript, we have our success result. It's a generic, it takes type T, and then it's going to return a read-only array of T and null. And for the error, it's the opposite. It's going to return null and then E. And then finally, our result, which is the result of this function, is either going to be a success result or an error result. And here's how you would use it, for example, in a component. Here, I'm awaiting try catch. I have this do something function. And then here I get my data, which is properly typed as a string or null, because again, this could be an error. We get our error over here, which also is properly typed error or null. And then I can check the error and do whatever I want with the error. Everything is properly typed. And then at this point, after I've checked the error, my data is guaranteed to be there because we've checked the error. So it's fully type safe in every way. And this is a really cool pattern because now you no longer have to wrap your code in a bunch of try catch blocks, which come with a bunch of problems. With this, you only do it once, and then you just use this function everywhere that you want to have this functionality.